Hello, welcome back to Talking Networking. I'm Bonnie Fanning, and I'm here with everyone's favorite marketing mentor to creatives, Ilise Benun of marketing-mentor.com. Hi, Ilise.
Hello, Bonnie. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Of course, thanks for having me here. And Elise's special guest, brand strategist and copywriter, Lisa Mullis. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, happy to be here. Thank you, everybody.
We're so glad to have you. So today we're focusing on a couple of different things. Firstly, how to network if you have no connections yet, and a lesser known LinkedIn tool that Lisa has been loving for her own networking. And you might even get a little demo today. So with that, Elise, take it away.
Thank you, Bonnie. And welcome, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing what you know. And I want to start with a question that came up recently about networking, because one of the things I've been teaching is how to invite people to connect on LinkedIn by offering help. And often people say, oh, no, but I don't want to pitch. And I say, no, that's not a pitch. So I'm curious what your definition is, and we may disagree on some of these things, actually, which we love, right? But what exactly is a pitch, and how is it different from inviting someone to connect by offering your help?
All right. So in my mind, an invitation or an offer for help is a pitch, because the way that I define pitch is essentially selling somebody on the idea of you, or working with you, or connecting with you, whatever that next step might be for somebody. So I kind of think about it under this umbrella of the term pitch. But then I understand that pitch has kind of a negative connotation, right? Because we've all had really badly executed invitations, if we want to call it that, where somebody you feel a little bit railroaded by somebody that you have zero connection with. That's all about like, hey, do you want this service? Blah, 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 blah. And I can do all this for you. And it's a very me approach. And you feel like, well, who are you?
Exactly. And you know, the reason I like to shy away from the word pitch is because it has all these negative connotations. And I think because if we are genuinely in our networking, in our outreach, and there's a lot of overlap between some of these tools that we talk about. In fact, Bob Bly, one of my clients, he talks about networking as outreach and outreach as networking. And I try to, explain my definitions, but he's got his own definition. So we all kind of have our own definitions, but I like bandying them around so we can see that these are just words, and we each have to figure out what word makes the most sense that will allow us to do what needs to be done, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that language starts internally first, right? And I've noticed over the years, as I've gotten much more comfortable making the invitations, I've also become more comfortable with the words selling and sales and pitch. And that was just part of my journey of having the experience and defining for myself what that is.
And maybe you can elaborate on that, because I want to know what's the difference between selling and being salesy for you.
Yeah. So selling is, if you want to equate selling to being in service, and like to your point, offering your help, people need help. They definitely need help. And so being able to do that and make those offers is important. And that is selling in a way, in service. But being salesy is when you are making those invitations. I apologize. Can you hear the dog in the background?
We hear the dog, but we love dogs.
I thought I would give him a bone to be quiet, and now he's like all worked up. But so I apologize. I'll grab that from him in just a minute.
No, it's fine.
salesy, in other words, is when you're making when you're putting that offer to help in front of someone in a way that overrides any opportunity or time asking them what, getting to know them and what is
Mhm.
their situation, understanding their situation, and correlating what you do with the need that they have. So if you skip all of that and you go right into the sale, that's what feels salesy. And if it's very much about me, this is what I can do for you, rather than what's going to help with, what are your challenges, and trying to, take some time to understand those things first.
And so what you're making me think actually is that being salesy is talking at someone, and
Mm.
not being salesy is talking with someone or to
Mm-hmm.
someone, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that you said at versus with someone.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, all of this is part of networking. So let's come back to building our LinkedIn network, because we've said in several of these LinkedIn live streams so far that your network is the most important thing you own, right? It is your most valuable asset in your business, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, and it's
Yeah,
yours to do what you will with. But what if you have no network? What if you believe you have no network? What if you have no connections? What should you do? I've been actually trying to help a few people in a couple different places
yeah.
lately who are blocked on LinkedIn because they have only 2 people in their network so far and they don't know what to do. So what if you have no connections
And are you speaking specifically no connections on
on
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn? Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So first of all, I mean, I think we've already seen it with some of these people that are seemingly blocked, that there's still opportunity to reach out to others that might be uh, in another community. Like maybe they're in a community with some other people
Mhm,
that they know they're on LinkedIn, but for whatever reason they can't see them or be able to connect with them, but those people could be able to connect with the person with
mhm,
that seems to have no connections. So it could go that way, so they could make an ask in another way, whether that's like verbally if they happen to see them or be on a call with them, or email them, text them, something like that.
mhm,
So if you know of people, because I would think it's a rare situation that you would not know anyone in your work, in your life, if you're in business, that you would not know anyone in life that's not on LinkedIn. That could be a starting point for you, and ask them to connect with you there.
Yeah, and one of the things we did on one of these previous live streams also is invite all of the participants to connect with each other. So I'd like to do that
Yeah.
again. If you want to connect with some of these people, just put your own profile in the feed, right? In the chat there on this event, and then other people will connect with you, and you can do that with other people too, just to get a little expansion of network going.
Yeah,
All right.
that'd be great.
Yeah. So, and obviously connect with me. If we're not connected, connect with Lisa. If you're not connected with Lisa, if you're not connected with Bonnie, connect with Bonnie, right? Like all of these people are up for grabs, in my opinion. They don't necessarily need to accept your connection. If you invite, don't take it personally if they don't, but it's very likely that they will. And that by itself will expand your network. All right. And so you have been using this LinkedIn tool that some people
Mhm.
think of as an advanced tool, and it does cost money. So maybe that's what makes it advanced. But I think that if you have no connections, this tool might be a good way to begin expanding your
Mhm.
network and reaching out to people as well. So tell us what the tool is I'm talking about and how you are using it, Lisa.
Yeah, so it's Sales Navigator. It's a LinkedIn tool. And as Ilise was saying, you do have to pay for it, although you get, I think, at least 2 weeks free. So there's an opportunity there if you want to just try it out and see what it's all about. Definitely, I recommend getting onto that. And you can access it through your LinkedIn profile. And I don't exactly remember where it is, but you can get to it, or you could just, Google Sales Navigator and find it that way. And so I've been using it because I'm very intentionally doing cold outreach right now to expand my connections on LinkedIn, because I know that many of the people that I work with are on LinkedIn. This is my channel to focus on when it comes to, like, if I think about social media in general, LinkedIn is where most of my people are. And so I'm really looking at how can I expand my audience there, and Sales Navigator is a way to do that, because one of the features of Sales Navigator is targeting. You can do targeting, which means basically you can select all this different criteria for what you're looking for, from demographics to different industries and things like that, that you might want to, narrow down your focus for people on LinkedIn. It's very similar if anybody has experience, even on Facebook, or if you've ever run Facebook ads, it's a similar type of process of targeting people. So that's what you can do in Sales Navigator. So that's allowed me to, again, target, pinpoint more accurately people that could, by the way that they're showing up on LinkedIn, the way that LinkedIn is viewing them, and the algorithms behind all of that, as potentially, ideal clients, essentially. Like, they fit all of this different criteria.
And here's what I'd love to do. If you could share the screen, Bonnie, please share the screen, and show us how you're using Sales Navigator, and maybe even read to us one of your messages. You don't have to name names about who you're reaching out to, but I would like to take a poll in the chat to see if people think this is salesy,
Oh,
or
okay. Oh my goodness.
spammy, or smarmy.
Okay.
So just read. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let's see. Let me just look at this one that's at the top here. Okay. So I will also mention this with Sales Navigator, and this whole effort for doing cold outreach, because I'm going right now for volume. That's one of the reasons why I'm using Sales Navigators, because the targeting that you can do in here is a much faster process than just organically going into your LinkedIn and doing the research. Because you can certainly narrow your focus inside LinkedIn and like find those people that you want to connect with. And that's just, a manual process. And I still do that. But for my purposes right now, I'm looking for an audience of people, again, that would fit my ideal profile, to invite them to a workshop, a free workshop that I'm doing. And so by nature of this, it's cold outreach. I know that I'm going to get no's from people. I know that there's going to be rejection, because there's no real nurture or lead up into this. So is it pitchy? I'm gonna think
pitchy
that, yes,
or salesy?
Or salesy. It's a pitch. It is absolutely a pitch. I'm pitching people on the idea of, come spend 90 minutes with me at this workshop.
So let's see how yucky it is, Lisa.
Yeah.
Read it to
Okay,
us.
let's see how yucky it is. Okay, so here's my message here. The key components to a high performing marketing funnel and invitation. Hi, Katrina. I work with service providers and help them attract more better fit clients by aligning their business's messaging with their company values. Recently, I started an event series that addresses the challenges that established business owners face in launching their offer or scaling their business. I'll be hosting the first one the start of May, where we'll be delving into 6 key components of what makes a high-performing marketing funnel. I think you'd be a perfect fit as a participant and would love for you to join. In case you want to learn more about it, here's the event link. And if this is something you or someone you know might resonate with, I'd be happy to connect with you and see you there.
Awesome. So you're a good sport, Lisa. I appreciate you reading it, number one. And let's say on a scale of 1 to 10 in the chat, I would love to see what people say about how salesy or smarmy or spammy or yucky that message is. And while they're doing that, is that a free workshop or a paid workshop?
It's free. It's a free
Okay.
workshop.
But
Yeah.
you don't use the word free in your message, right?
No, and I don't know. So I have somebody helping me do this outreach, and I'd have to actually ask them if that's a restriction to even put the word free in there. I know, like on the Facebook, when you're doing Facebook advertising, you have to be really careful with some of those words using that.
Right. All right. Well, okay. So 0 to 10, 1 to 10, 0 to 10, with 0 being not salesy at all, and 10 being yuck, get me out of here. Right. A lot of people seem to be saying 0 or 1.
Good.
So that's very interesting, though, right? Like, it's a pitch, it's a sales message, but it's not salesy. How can that be?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, again, so I wrote this, even though I've got somebody helping me, and with their advice and following, their recommendations on this. I think there's just things about, like, introducing myself, right? It's like, hi, this is what I do. I've started this event series. It might be something you're interested in. And like, even this language, if this is something you or someone might resonate with. So it's a little bit like the language, I think, is a little bit lower key than, this is the event, like, you gotta come, and kind of like,
so there's no hyperbole in it.
Yeah.
It's not the best thing we've ever seen, which, I mean, I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of that. And then, wait, I had another thought. What was it? The idea that, oh shoot, it's gone. All right. Well, some people are saying 4 and 5. And so I guess just this idea of, being salesy when you have something to sell. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. The idea that it's what matters more than ever of what you say. I'm sorry. What matters more than what you say is the person and where they are in their moment of need. So if they are in the market for something like this and it resonates as you're basically kind of planting that seed in the message, then they won't perceive it as salesy. And if they aren't in the market, then they may perceive it as salesy. So I'm just, I want to make the point that it's all in the eye of the recipient for the most part. Do you agree with that, Lisa?
Yeah, 100%. Because even just within this process, I've had people say, this sounds really interesting, but I can't make it. Are you going to do this again? Or this sounds really interesting, I'm happy to connect, or something like that. So it might even be that they can't come for whatever reason, or they're not ready, but they're still to make the connection, which is great. And yeah, they might not have a need right now, and that's totally fine.
Right.
I'm looking for people who do have the need, but I'm happy to connect with those that don't. And I should say too that this whole process, part of this process includes an invitation for these people to join me on my email list. So that is another way that I could continue to build that relationship. And that's what I plan to do.
Beautiful. All right, let's stop sharing her screen and bring Bonnie back. Bonnie, come back, please.
Hello.
There she is. Hello. I just want to, well, before I thank Lisa, Bonnie, is there anything we should know or anything else we want to do before we wrap it up?
I don't think so. You should know that when you ask people if they wanted to connect, tons of people share their profiles.
Awesome.
The comment section is hot today.
Excellent. All right. So Lisa, thank you so much for sharing, for showing your screen and reading your message. I mean, oh, I know what I wanted to say also. Sorry. Marketing, generosity as a marketing tool, right? Like offering a workshop is a way of using generosity as a marketing tool as well, especially if it's free. So there's a lot in there to counter what someone might perceive as pitchy or salesy. And that's why I think there were a lot of ones and zeros there. That was my thought.
Great.
So thank you, Lisa, for being such a good
you're welcome.
sport and always joining in. And Bonnie, take it on home.
Yes. Well, thanks to both of you for this conversation, which has been so illuminating. And everybody, just remember, we have a huge event coming up on May 15th. Huge. Use that word a lot.
Ever.
Huge. It is big. We just got our 600th attendee sign up, so it's going to be huge. We're going to be talking all about networking. Ilise is going to blow your mind and change how you think.
That's my goal.
Networking.
Yes,
that's her goal. So I'll pop a link up here if you'd like to join us and you're not signed up yet. It's going to be on a Monday from noon to 1 p.m. ET. That's Eastern time. And in case you are a QR code person, here's the QR code for that. And we hope that we'll get to see you there. It's going to be pretty great. And thanks again, Ilise and Lisa.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.